Good afternoon, everybody. Uh, we talk about the second language by Brice Terrell, Melanie Castañeda, and Madeleine Baltasar.
Hello, my name is Madeleine Baltasar, and now I'm going to explain what is acquisition. Well, learning a second language is a complex process. It involves our mind, our emotions, and the environment where we live and study. And it's different from learning our first language because it usually happens later in life and depends on many factors like motivation, instruction, and exposure. When we learn another language, we through a process called acquisition. That means we develop our ability to understand and communicate naturally, not only by memorizing the grammar, but it's also using the language in the real situation day a day. In other words, acquisition is more than study. It's about real communication and experience. To continue with, according to the linguist Stephen Krashen in 1982, there's an important difference between acquisition and learning. Acquisition it's a subconscious process like how children learn their first language. And learning that's a subconscious knowledge of grammar rules, vocabulary, and sentence structures in a formal way. Both processes are useful, but Krashen explains that acquisition is what helps us become more fluent and confident when we speak every day, because it comes from real communication and not only from studying rules. Here we have a question. Is motivation, instruction, and exposure important? In second language learning, um, here we have important factors. Motivation gives students the desire and energy to keep practicing and improving. When we are motivated, we enjoy the process and we don't give up easily. Instruction is also essential. A good teacher guides students, explains clearly, and uses fun and creativity activities that help the students understand the language better. And finally, exposure means having constant contact with the language. For example, watching movies, listening to music, or talking with native speakers. When these three elements work together, students can develop stronger skills and feel more confident using the language in real life.
Okay, the Krashen monitor model. This model was developed by Stephen Krashen, an American linguist. He explained how the people acquire a second language through five hypotheses. Here we can see three of them. First, the acquisition learning hypothesis. Uh, he said acquisition happens naturally and subconsciously, while learning is formal and conscious. Second, the monitor hypothesis. It says that learning knowledge acts as a monitor that checks and edits what we say. And finally, the input hypothesis. It means that we learn when we understand message that we are slightly above our current level, which Krashen calls I+1. In short, Krashen model shows that language learning is more effective when we focus on understanding and natural communication. Okay, now the teaching implication of Krashen theory. According to Krashen, a teacher should focus on understandable and meaningful input. Grammar should not be the main focus, because it's only support communication. The class activities should promote listening, reading, and speaking in a natural way. Also, the students learn better when they feel relaxed and motivated. The main goal is to develop fluency, not just accuracy. So, in general, Krashen theory encourages a natural and communicative way of learning language.
Here we talk about Long's interaction hypothesis. Long urged that communicative interaction is essential for second language learning. Therefore, pair and group activities that encourage authentic dialogue are recommended. In the second, we have Schmidt's noticing hypothesis. According to Schmidt, learners must consciously notice linguistic features to learn them. Teachers should highlight important structures using feedback or specific consciousness raising stacks. And finally is Ellis' processing perspective. Ellis explains that language learning involves cognitively, therefore, lessons should provide frequent exposure and real opportunities to use the language. Okay, now we have here influencing factors in L2 acquisition, influenced by age, context, motivation, and instruction. The age, no? In the part of age, children get better pronunciation, adults learn faster but less fluently. In the context, we have natural settings, boost interaction, classrooms work if realistic. In motivation, we have integrative, what is connection, and instrumental, that is practical goals. And finally, we have instruction, is structure, input, feedback, and practice accelerate learning. Thank you.